Genji 2 is an action game which is based on Japanese history. Being based on history, the stages of the game will also be based on famous battles which actually took place in ancient Japan. So here's this giant enemy crab.
Oh yeah, Marvel.
Yeah,
Marble.
man. We got the thigh lady. She's finally here.
Oh my god.
She got thigh physics, dude.
Dude, the devs are wild for putting jiggle physics on her entire fucking body. Like, that is insane.
Yeah. Especially when she's supposed to be made of diamonds, right?
She
So
can
they're
turn into diamonds.
They should have done that for like the Blob, make him all jello-y.
I don't think she jiggles when she's diamond form, does she?
I don't know.
You didn't study the video enough.
I studied it like the Blade. I even cut it up and put it into pieces to see how big her thighs actually were.
That was concept
Turns
art,
out-
not the video.
I don't think it's concept art. That looked pretty official to me.
It was close enough to be official.
She is large.
That's a big lady. Dude, she looks
That's
so
a
cool,
big
though.
lady.
She looks so cool.
She does. So I was watching a TikTok of her abilities and I was like, this is cool. I think it was Flats. And he was showing her off. She looks busted as shit, which is cool. But also I feel like I'm going to have to fight to get to pick her,
Yeah.
which is going to be
Dude,
frustrating.
hey, I'm interested in playing Ultron, but no way the motherfucker's not gonna be picked. Like,
And I was like, okay, these are pretty cool. She looks very powerful, very strong. But then the next clip was, I think, Necros, and he's that Spider-Man main.
Yeah.
And he was like, oh, we're going over the Spider-Man changes. And he's like, well, the uppercut has been increased from 5 meters to 8 meters circular radius. I was like, the fuck? What are you talking about? Oh, and the web swinging cooldown has been reduced and there's no cooldown anymore. It's just, you just get to
was
do
this
it
an
whenever.
April Fool's video?
It was an April
Okay,
Fool's
thank
video. It
fuck.
got me so good. I was getting heated. I was like, I am so tired of everybody that I can't see disappearing to Spider-Man. I'm up front. I can't help you guys. You guys got to figure that out yourself. And there's nothing y'all can do except hope a fish man can put his fish in the right places. That's
Sometimes
about
the
it.
fish man can't even get him either.
No. And then you need, Scarlet Witch and Fishman. And at that point, now you're not even playing a team game. You're playing
Now
to
you're
help
playing
Spider-Man's
Spider-Man
here.
too.
I think that's one of the most annoying things about fighting Spider-Man is a really good one makes you have to like change the entire way you play, and that sucks.
Yeah. And even if you kill him, guess what? He's right back there in 5 seconds. There's no even if you kill him, you still lose. Like there's no real good answer to that yet until there's like a melee support, which we saw what happened with Overwatch when that came out.
No, what do you mean?
I mean,
It can't turn bad. It's so good.
It can turn bad.
I mean, it stopped dive though. Remember, we need to stop dive, Liz. Overwatch did it.
Eventually, it stopped everything, even the game, and they had to change it.
Yeah, man,
They said goats.
reverting it to Overwatch 1.
Remember the 3 most important words: rally to me.
Rally to me. Oh, I'm a big giant guy with a hammer. This little tiny lady is whooping my ass by herself repeatedly, and I can't do anything about
She
it.
won't stop
Dope.
hitting me.
Man,
She counters my instant kill with her regular move. Awesome. Neat.
sometimes for nostalgia, I go back and look at Day 1 Brig, and it's like, man, what were they thinking? Giving the support
Who
the ability
knows?
to instantly kill a DPS, like, and there's nothing they can do about it. Just instant combo death.
Dude, when I found out that, hey, my charge, my pin that is like an instant kill on squishy characters and a move that I cannot stop myself gets stopped by her little shield bash. And I don't think they ever reverted that, did they? Who knows? I don't know.
I don't
It
think
just-
so. I think they just like they fall on the ground now. It used to be she would just
Yeah.
stun you.
She would win.
Yeah,
She would win. The physical impossibility of that itself was mind-boggling. Yeah, that's why I don't play Overwatch anymore. I took all my things and made them bad.
I saw one thing so people were talking about is I guess they're changing how you get competitive points, or why is it just called SR? Like, I don't know what they actually call your rank points.
Yeah, it was SR.
It is SR? It's now going to be
I believe so.
performance based. So if you do really well, you'll gain more and lose less. and then vice versa. If you do poorly, you'll gain less and lose more.
This is on what now? Is this
Marvel
Overwatch
Rivals.
or my Rivals?
Yeah,
Okay, that's
they've-
fine.
They've changed it to incentivize individual performance more than it's
I
currently weighted.
I kind of like that.
Oh yeah.
I do too, because I'm pretty. I was gonna say I hate seeing SVP. It's like the worst thing to me. I'm like, I did so well,
Dude,
and everything else went to shit.
We can be playing out of our minds, and then one teammate decides they want to. They have a pissy fit, and then we.
Or even they're not doing that. Maybe they're just playing Jeff, and then they eat us and get us all off the point, and that's the game.
Oh my god! You cancel my fucking ult with your Jeff ult.
Oh my! The
I'm
amount
gonna
of
throw you out a
times
window.
I've been like, Hulk Smith. Oh come on! You're on my team, you fuck.
There have been a
What
couple
are you
times where I'm
doing?
clobbering time and I've been eating, and it's like, well, there goes that stun.
I still think they need to
But,
just remove that ultimate from the game. Like it's only fun for Jeff.
Isn't it kind of funny how like I'm not even frustrated by enemy Jeff eating me anymore? I'm more frustrated by my own Jeff eating
Oh, dude,
me
I don't
at
care
this
about enemy
point.
Jeff anymore. It's teammate Jeff is way more of a threat.
He's dangerous. Well, you could be doing the best you are, and then suddenly,
Dude, I was tearing. There was one game the other day where I was like tearing it up, and then I get eaten by Jeff because he ate the enemy team and me, and then he jumps off the edge, but doesn't spit me out. He goes, "Oh,
Yep.
sorry, thing," and it's like, "Fuck you."
Yep.
what? That's even my Jeffs don't do that. I just get like told like I'll be in the zone, I'll be kicking ass, and then Jeff eats me, and now like everything I was on just disappears. All of it just there it went. There went all that that kick ass you had in you. It's now gone, and you're just sitting there staring at your Jeff like fuck.
It's like the
Are
one
you-
time I need the Jeff to be a spitter, not a quitter,
Oh shit.
and he fucking jumps.
God damn it. Oh, are you excited for your skin, Fliz?
I am. I've been calling it. I said, give me Joe Fix. He's got like cybernetics or something, but it's fine.
Does he? I couldn't
not
tell
exactly
like what he's
what I
got
want.
on him.
I haven't actually
He's got like
seen the
metal
skin.
plates in his head.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but
Looks kind of
It's fine.
interesting.
I just like the suit.
It looks
I like the
very
suit
dapper with the hat. The little hat.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay, I see it now. Yeah, that looks pretty good.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's going to be in the battle pass, so I don't have to spend any extra on it, which I just can't get away from Marvel W's. They're too strong. They suck me in every time.
And then a new character every month after this season instead of every 6 weeks. So we're going to get even more characters. Oh my God.
Dang, you're trying to take Riot.
I just realized that Emma Frost skin. It's
Oh
kinda
yeah.
crazy.
The comic accurate Emma Frost skin it's too much. They
Oh,
cooked.
send it to me. What are you talking about?
One of the
I
skins
don't even know who Emma Frost is.
she's a mutant with telekinesis and I
diamond
think
powers.
telepathic powers. Or no, I think it's just telepathic powers. And then she unlocked a second mutation that lets her turn into diamonds. And how the mutation plays around with her abilities is when she's in diamond form, she can't use her telepathic abilities, but she's also immune to all telepathic abilities. So I'm curious if like her ult is going to work against like herself while she's in diamond form. If she'll be like CC immune or something while she's in diamond form. But yeah, I'm not sure how popular Emma Frost is.
Oh, I didn't know they were making gifting a thing.
Yes, you can give skins.
She's
now.
about to be. Is she about to be super pop? This fucking skin?
Yeah.
She might as well just be wearing panties.
Money
What are we
printer
doing?
go.
Comic accurate.
Comic accurate. Oh my
It's
god.
even tame for
Well-
her skins from what we agree they could add for the comic being accurate.
Dude.
They say you don't need to mod our game for nude mods. We got you. Don't worry about it.
Do you guys remember Emma Frost was in like the old X-Men movies? Well, in one of them specifically.
She was in one of them. The one
know.
where Darwin didn't adapt to his power didn't do what it does for some reason. Y'all remember that? Because I think his power is that he just adapts to anything, and then a guy shoved a ball of energy down his throat and he died. He didn't adapt to it. Very strange.
Wasn't cool enough.
I guess I had to kill somebody.
Yeah.
All right, I'm excited to play this character. You know what else I'm excited for? Episode 42 of the Giant and McCrab podcast. Thank y'all for joining. I'm your host, Fliz. I'm joined by these wonderful gentlemen, Kylar, Tsun, and Strider.
Hello.
They're here to bring you the latest and greatest in news. We got a lot to talk about today. Before I do that, if you're listening, do us all a favor and pop on over to Spotify, Apple, leave us a 5-star. You only got to do it once, and it's all we ask. It's much appreciated. Helps us move up and get more friends to talk to. So
yeah,
I won't harp on that. Just we would really love that. How you guys doing today?
I'm doing pretty good. I'm excited. I haven't tried the new monster in Monster Hunter yet. I've not gotten a chance to do it.
Neither have I.
Yeah.
I did. I could spoil it for you.
Ooh. Well, yeah, go ahead, spoil it.
There's bubbles.
Oh, there's bubbles.
There's
Let's
bubbles.
go. I was hoping.
How's Bubble Blight?
I don't know.
Let's
I
use the
just
bow.
shot the monster and it died. Yeah.
Is it like difficult or is it just die?
I shot the monster and it died.
Oh,
It took
alright.
a little longer than the other hunts, but maybe that's because I was doing it solo. I don't know. Also, I didn't eat. I forgot to eat.
Okay.
That tells you.
So you,
But I
Yeah.
didn't fight the tempered one.
Were
I
you
just fought the
awake?
regular one.
Were you awake? Let's start there.
No, this was last night at like I played and I killed a bubble monster, then I wandered around a bit and it started up the Zoshia quest and I just shut my whole PC off. I was that tired. So no, I was not awake. I was not really doing much of anything. I just shot the monster and it died.
Okay.
But
Well,
yeah, there's that, and there's Zoshia, and there's Tempered Raidal. Those are gonna be fun. I haven't done any. I'm excited to do Zoshia with everybody. That sounds fun.
Raid Dow isn't even till the end of the month, though.
Yeah. It's not until
Unfortunately.
like the end of the month.
Like 29th, I
I'm
think?
still trying to get all my mini crowns, so that's fine. I got stuff to do. Almost there. 4 more.
I wonder if the number that you need changes or if it's the same number and now you just get like it's easier to do. Probably the same number.
I would think it's the second one.
Yeah.
I can't see why they'd be like, now do them
Nah,
all
fuck
for it.
you.
Yeah, that seems
Harder
weird.
now.
That seems weird. But yeah, I still got to look around. The one thing that really kind of upset me is I saw the armor for the for the character and the weapons, and they basically just make it easier to fight that monster alone because it's all about the status effect you get from that monster and it doesn't really do anything else.
Oh.
So I was like, I'm not going to waste my time and money on something when I could just build more damage. More damage, please.
More damage.
More damage. We kind of already talked about Marvel. That's got the new update coming out. Happy about that. And the new Hulk skin. That's my big excitement. But no big changes aside from that. Y'all got some news you want to get into?
Ooh, I got a few different things here.
Ooh.
Real quick, Zenimax. I don't know if you guys remember who Zenimax is, but it's the devs behind like Elder Scrolls Online, owned by Microsoft. They have voted to authorize a strike. Hooray!
Oh, no.
Against Microsoft.
Oh, yay.
Yeah, so they're as far as I know, they're not actually striking. They basically have said like we've gotten a very huge percentage vote, I think 94% according to The Verge, in favor of striking. Because of basically work conditions for their some of their in-house contractors. I think it's specifically their quality assurance workers again.
Yeah, QA testers are having issues doing it well.
Yeah, it's going to be them. Apparently, they are still making like a minimum wage. They have no benefits, and they don't even get paid sick time either.
Yeah, they get paid like beans.
That's
Yeah.
crazy. I guess that's the same thing with like Amazon and stuff. But the fact you could work for the biggest companies in the world and still be like, I can't afford food.
Yeah.
Help.
I think
That's
I
fucking
read
insane.
like,
We're so greedy.
isn't there a quote by one of the guys there that like, you know, it's like a multi-trillion-dollar company and they can't even pay QA testers minimum wage or higher?
I mean, that's what it is.
Yeah,
Right.
and
Yeah.
I remember at one of my old companies, we just gotten bonuses and everybody was mad because before this, you would get shares in the company like the year before I started. And then we got bought out. And the next year, we all got $8 gift cards to KFC for our bonus. And they were so fucking mad. I was mad too. Not as mad as the rest of the people. But then in the break room, they posted that like the CEO got a like $5 to $10 million bonus that year. And I was like, somebody's going to get in trouble for posting this. It
Yep.
stayed up a lot longer than I expected. But yeah, it's kind of gross.
CEOs getting a
Disparity
bonus is so weird.
I mean, you work as hard as you can so you can do even less work for more money. I mean, I see the appeal, but also it's very demoralizing for everybody else who works their ass off.
Trickle down economics, man. That's, you know,
Oh, God.
it'll trickle down.
I was getting ready to
It's
fight you.
definitely going down.
Yeah, so basically they're at the point where they've authorized a strike and they've presented a proposal to Microsoft pretty much asking for, you know, compensation increase, at least some benefit to working for the company, because it sounds like they get none. And they're also saying that they are trying to like align with their model of like in office and remote work, because I guess the Microsoft wants their employees to work at least 3 days in office, and then they could work, you know, whatever other days remotely if they want to or have to. And they said they're cool with it, but you have to give us like this other stuff, make it so they can actually try to live, because they kind of need that. So
How could you even take this job? Like, there's no health care. There's no pay. Is it literally just people going, I get to work for Microsoft? Is it that Blizzard shit again?
it could be. Who knows?
There's
Honestly.
no way that's a job worth taking if there's no, because usually the trade-off, like my job is I don't get paid healthcare. Like I don't have benefits, but I get paid more to take care of those things.
Yeah.
Since it's a smaller company. If you don't get either of those, why?
Yeah.
Well, you gotta have some.
It could be maybe they're just hoping to get like avenues of future work, or just try to get hired somewhere else in the company. Like, it's hard to say.
Yeah.
A lot of people. But that's
right.
Zenimax right now. So we'll keep an eye out that see what ends up happening. Hopefully they don't have to go on strike. But
Either way,
if you guys remember Ubisoft,
what's that?
The makers behind Assassin's Creed and all that. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
They had
thanks.
a deal with Tencent where they basically like subsidiaried all of their main IPs, and Tencent now owns like a percentage of that subsidiary. And investors are pretty pissed off about it. Apparently there's been a letter sent by the minority shareholder AJ Investments, according to Insider Gaming, that's basically demanding that shareholders are able to vote on this Tencent deal. And there's multiple different resolutions that have been, I think 2 of them, I shouldn't say multiple, just 2, where basically they either want to vote to have like a direct asset sale, like directly just sell these parts of the company, or they basically want to do distribution of dividends out instead. So pretty much like shareholders are not, to quote this article, shareholders are not sure whether they will get a significant benefit from this transactions. Ubisoft's share price fell by more than 20% on unusually high volume. So yeah, like it pretty much this deal, which sounded like this is going to kind of solve Ubisoft's problem after Assassin's Creed, it's not really done much of anything.
Yeah, I find it very hard to care about investors and
Yeah.
what they want out of not only this company that has been pushed by, making shareholders happy for a long time, and it's made all the companies that do this worse. But like Ubisoft has been a sinking ship for a while. Why are if you're still attached and you're mad, yeah.
Yep.
I don't see why you would have been happy about anything for the past, I don't know, year. It's all been bad. I don't know. You have no sympathy from me, shareholders.
Yeah, I don't feel bad for them either. It's definitely a sign that, because for these gaming companies that are publicly traded, like it is a big deal for how their games and everything are going to like basically churn out. The worse that the company does and the less worth it is, the more corners they will try to cut to make more profit, essentially, right? To give you an idea, after the Tencent deal was announced, despite the release of Assassin's Creed Shadows, which is doing really well, their stock fell 24%.
Yeah.
Like
it was already down there too.
Yeah, it was already down and just gone. It's just out of here. So yeah, when you were saying that Shadows might not be enough, I think that's what you said, right, Fliz?
Oh yeah, I've been saying it.
Yeah, you might be right. You might be right. Even this Tencent deal might not be enough to save them. But we'll see. We will see about that.
It's tough because the stock market is actually like down across the board too. Like there's nothing good happening right now.
No.
So
yeah. There's a bunch of shenanigans happening with the
bad.
whole tariff thing, but that's for another day because there's a lot going on.
Is
with
it
that.
though? Because I'm seeing a lot about Nintendo and certain things because of the tariffs. We'll get to it if it comes up again.
We will get to it.
Yeah.
All right.
Nintendo's
beautiful.
one topic, but it's affecting this is a global economy thing. Even tabletop games are affected by this. Like Wizards of the Coast is freaking out about this right now too, and even just like Kickstarters everywhere.
Hey man, you gotta tariff those penguins.
I don't know what that means.
I don't know what that means either.
Did you know? So no.
It's too late now.
Yeah, you have to explain.
Elaborate.
It's the fact it was that big list of tariffs they had. There was tariffs on islands that literally have no human beings living on them, all populated by penguins. I'm not kidding. Yeah, no, they're tariffing islands that they're inhabited by penguins. Like your president does not know what the fuck he's tariffing.
Hey man, he's very orange.
Listen,
Leave
those
him
penguins
alone.
are hiding something. All right, they got gold somewhere under that ice.
They're tariffing it's like this island is completely inhabited by penguins. This one's inherited by a population of a permanent population of 1,200 and penguins. They don't have any exports.
It's not an island of just penguins. There's seals there too. I looked it up. The uninhabited remote island that Trump imposed tariffs on.
Yeah.
Oh,
also,
right.
apparently,
Thank you for telling me.
mainland Australia has lower tariffs than one of their island states.
I'm like so over hearing about all this shit
Tariff,
that everybody knew was gonna be bad.
Dude, it was
like
mind-boggling reading this shit. I was like, what the fuck?
I think it's more than I thought it was. This is like a 54% tariff or some shit. It's like a lot.
So a lot of people are starting to speculate that they actually use like AI to calculate the tariffs.
Wouldn't surprise me.
Like they went to Chat GPT or something.
I mean, at this point, the IQ of ChatGPT is probably like insane. The problem is more like, can you actually trust what it's putting out because you don't know the sources for all of its information?
It's putting
really
tariffs on penguins, man.
It's incredibly smart. You just don't know what it's smart about, and it doesn't know either.
Yeah, like you don't know how it's coming up with
all
this stuff.
intelligence, no wisdom.
Pretty much, yeah.
Well, it was making me think. What were you guys? We were watching Love, Death, and Robots. Is that what it was last night?
Yeah.
And then the yogurt that took over, and like that's what's going on, man. The yogurt's gonna be like, here's how you fix stuff. Well, we knew you wouldn't listen, so
Yep.
We're going to leave you guys in spaceships, yogurt spaceships.
What if the yogurt leaves?
Oh, there it goes.
There it goes. Oh, man. But this is the next thing. And I don't know if you guys know anything about this, but So I guess to quote the article from The Guardian, Donkey Kong champion wins defamation case against Australian YouTuber Karl Jobst.
Yep.
Do you guys know anything about this or no?
Yep.
What I do know is that this is a dangerous topic to talk about.
It is. It is.
Oh, we're getting dangerous, like Darkwing Duck in here. Watch out.
So, to clarify, like what this is a lawsuit, a defamation lawsuit between the Donkey Kong champion, Billy Mitchell, and YouTuber Karl Jobst. So who these two people are is Billy Mitchell, or William Mitchell, is a like world famous gamer who basically has had multiple world records since the 80s. I think he got his first record when he was like 17 in Donkey Kong. I think he was the very first person to like beat Donkey Kong. And he's made multiple records even into like the 2010s. So very, very good at what he does. Until he was basically accused of cheating by using an emulator to get some of his more recent scores. And he had all of his records disqualified from both the Guinness World Records and Twin Galaxies as well. And for those who don't know, Twin Galaxies is pretty much like the video game version of Guinness World Records. That's who they are. Now, Karl Jobst, the YouTuber, he makes YouTube videos about like speedrunners. He himself is a speedrunner, and also about just like general gaming records and stuff. But he also does videos about people who cheat at speedrunning and so forth. So he did videos on Billy Mitchell. That's who these two are. Now,
It's
go ahead.
well, it's just if you don't know anything, like if you don't know anything about speed running and you've heard about speed, like Billy Mitchell is the first name you will learn about when it comes to speed, like cheating at speed runs.
Yes.
He's like the biggest case. And also I've watched plenty of interviews. This is like his whole life, it seems like. He's based his whole life around these world records to the detriment of his personality.
He definitely does not have a great reputation. He's made multiple lawsuits against different people and organizations, including Twin Galaxies, for various other reasons, basically because his records were taken from him. But this lawsuit specifically, I was following this, I remember, via Karl Jobst's like videos. And
Same.
I remember thinking it was crazy because I thought like he was suing basically over Karl saying that his records were fake. And I was like, it's wild that this is like a court case, right? And Karl Jobst is a YouTuber who he's like a guy who really does his research. If you ever watch his videos, he's very clear. He has lots of evidence to support like a lot of the cases he makes. It's very easy to believe what Karl Jobst says because he seems like a professional. Essentially, you can watch his videos about pretty much anything that he covers.
They're
very good at what he does.
thorough.
Yeah, extremely thorough. He has a good reputation about that. So it's very easy to believe what Karl Jobst says in his videos. And what it turns out this lawsuit was, this defamation lawsuit was not about the fact that, or not fact, I should say, the accusation that William cheated at Donkey Kong and Pac-Man and so forth. It was that Karl Jobst accused Billy Mitchell of essentially leading someone to commit suicide. And that's where it gets like, oh shit. Yeah. Not great.
What the fuck
That's
was that?
A little the tremble.
That was
Sang
like
it
one
to us.
octave from a moan. What the fuck?
It's fine.
Were you horny?
Now,
Are you?
No.
Yeah, you're the one who did the sound, right? Like, that's you.
I was reacting to the situation. Yeah, it's not a good situation, man. What the fuck? Continue.
I mean, you're right. It is a bad situation for everybody.
Yeah. So, and this is what the settlement or this lawsuit was about, because Billy Mitchell had sued another man who goes by the online name Apollo Legend back in 2020. And at some point, they had basically resolved the settlement because Apollo Legend had basically accused him of cheating. He had all these YouTube videos about him, and they reached an agreement where he would take down the videos, and as long as he doesn't do it again, we're good. And they just settled it quietly. But Karl Jobst believed that Apollo Legend basically had his videos all taken from him and had to pay out a huge sum of money, which is not true. That is not what happened. But in a video titled "The Biggest Con Men in Video Game History Strike Again," he was quoted as saying, "I haven't spoken about this publicly, but this lawsuit ultimately ended with Apollo giving in and settling with Mitchell. He was forced to remove all of his videos about Mitchell's cheating and paid him a large sum of money. This left him deeply in debt, which required him to find extra work, but with his ongoing health issues, this is all too much of a burden, and he ultimately took his own life. Not that Billy Mitchell would even care, though. In fact, when Billy Mitchell thought Apollo died earlier, he expressed joy at the thought."
Jesus.
That's what Karl said about Billy Mitchell in that video. That is a quote from it. And with Karl Jobst's reputation, like, people believed this. They thought that Billy Mitchell was like the person that did him in, which, no matter what you think, there's no way to prove that. So this is tried and true. Like, this is defamation. Like, you cannot prove any of this. You cannot say this. If you go to the video now, this has since been removed. You cannot find it there anymore. But this definitely was in that video. And this ends with Billy Mitchell winning the case against him, and he owes $350,000 plus, I think, $40,000 in interest to Billy Mitchell now.
Yeah. Well, I think a big part of it that was really tough for everybody is he crowdfunded. Karl crowdfunded a lot of his financials for defending himself against being sued.
Yep.
Under the guise of it being a lawsuit, like you said, towards saying that Billy lost his records, when, like you said, it wasn't about that at all. And so these people who thought they were helping based on Billy Mitchell is a jerk and all this, like, that's what they thought, and thought they were helping Karl when they were being lied to, in essence, about the real reason behind the lawsuit. So everybody's kind of pissed about that. They spent real money on that.
Oh yeah. On top of this, he also does have to pay all of Billy Mitchell's lawyer fees too, and that's a lot of money. That is a lot of money, because I think this case has been going on for
years.
Yeah, a couple of years now at least. So yeah, I don't know. The only word that I've seen Karl actually mention about this was a Twitter post. I think he released like a video that's not related to this, but it got like a ton of backlash, so it's since been removed. I don't know what the video was because it was removed before I saw it. But yeah, no word from like anything on like how much this is actually going to cost him in total, or just like what he plans to do after. But yeah, it was kind of crazy, like seeing that headline at work that day, where I was like, oh shit, he lost. Why? And then like, oh, that's not good. Holy shit, I had no idea. Well, it was
everybody loses.
I love
here.
how this news this news dropped at like midnight or something like that too, our time.
Mm-hmm.
I just remember reading the Reddit thread that it was posted. I was like less than an hour at the time. And I was like, holy shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you've been following this at all, this was like kind of huge, because you're like, what? I honestly was like, it seemed there was no way Billy could win based on the information we had, It seemed like he was totally the villain in all this. Yeah, now big L's in the chat for everyone involved. I guess not Billy. Billy's probably pretty happy with this. He's probably dancing in his little shoes and tie.
Well, and here's what's crazy too, because I've read like a chunk of the actual core document. You can actually find it. It is downloadable. It is a like 120 page document. They totally tried to reach, like Billy did try to reach some kind of like middle ground with him. He tried to like talk to him, tried to do all this stuff. Apparently, it is detailed in that document, and it just did not go through. So
No.
you can't even say that Billy Mitchell just like is trying to win this case and get this money. He really wasn't. Like, he was actually trying to just like find a middle ground to end this and be like, dude, you accused me of basically killing someone, and like people are calling me out on Twitter and I have no idea what's going on. And yeah, like this is just such an unfortunate thing. And what's crazy
You know
is,
what?
oh, go ahead.
I'll go for it. Oh, no, I was just like, my mind has been totally, because I was all for Karl for years,
Mhm.
because I've been, and now I'm sitting here like, maybe Billy really isn't an asshole, because if somebody was making multiple hour-long YouTube videos about how I'm a fraud and how I've done all this stuff, I'd probably, and they did it constantly, because there's multiple videos on this, I believe. I think I've watched most of them. There's a lot of content that Karl put out hating on Billy, and I'd probably sue the fuck out of him too. Like if it was that big of a deal, yeah. So I don't know. Yeah, I'm kind of with you where I'm like, he's not just a villain,
Yeah, he if you read the court case, like he is quoted as saying like he would go to visit the pastor of his church, how he was saying he was depressed, and he'd like see the videos and they'd hit like 1.3 million views. And yeah, that's devastating. Like to have that happen because you started your career at like getting high scores in Pac-Man Donkey Kong is like, that's a huge turnaround.
I just think about how I'd feel when some random person joins my fucking 15 viewer stream and is like, you're shit and you suck at this game. I'm like, oh. And then, but to imagine that blown to that millions of people just hating on you constantly.
Yeah. It's not great. And what I was going to say was it's crazy too, because I remember watching some of Karl's videos talking about like the court case and like his defense and what he was trying to do. He was very confident that he was going to win. Yeah. Like very confident. I think Absolutely. He brought up how in Australia, whoever basically wins the case, the other party has to pay the court fees of the person. And he said that the main reason that Billy won so many cases in the US was because that it doesn't work like that in the US. You basically have to pay your own court fees no matter who wins. So he would just like wait out these cases, drag them out until it became too expensive for his for the person who he was accusing to afford the lawyers anymore. And that's how he'd win his cases. And now it makes you really rethink just about Billy in general. You know what I mean? Like
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
He's not, like I said, he's not just a villain like I've been led to believe all this time. He is a person under fire for years now. So I'm interested to see how this all ends up. But I have a much more open mind towards both parties at this point. It's just kind of eye-opening to see like, hey, when you get your news from one source, you're definitely getting biased news, whether you believe it or not.
Oh yeah. It was a huge eye opener, especially from Karl, who like I'd watched all of his videos.
Same.
So
I don't even give a fuck about speedrunning, but those were pretty dramatic.
Like speedruns?
No, dude, I could never sit there and play the same game over and over for years with no change to it. I'd lose my mind.
Yeah.
People have figured out some crazy stuff though. 1/2 A button press. Beat the level.
Half an A press, yeah. But
what is it
I'll
down
keep
to?
following. I'm sorry, what was that?
What is it down to now? 37.5 or something like that, I think. A press is needed.
Nothing actually feasible. The stupid video of when he does that one level, that 30-minute long explanation of how it works, and he's hopping parallel universes and all this other shit. You know what I'm talking about?
If y'all don't know,
oh my god!
But someone's done an entire documentary on it. Bismuth has a 5.5-hour video on the history of the A button challenge.
Oh, that's crazy.
And it's kind of insane.
Yeah.
The whole thing's, what do you mean kind of insane? The whole thing from start to finish is insane.
Start talking about parallel dimensions and shit, dude. Like
for a kids game.
And it's real. That's the craziest part. It works.
The parallel universe thing is very it's very tame compared to some of the other stuff that happens.
No, it's all insane.
The
all
fact
of it's
that
just
it's
insanity.
all real. That it's stuff that it's just who has time to sit there and figure that out?
Not
I don't
even
know.
just a kids game, like a 20-something-year-old kids game. Great game,
No.
but why are we doing this still?
The other thing of the guy who did that video on the A-Press is Pat Cohen. He has a fucking 4-hour video on how the invisible walls work in Mario 64.
A 4-hour video.
Yes.
Oh my God.
And it's incredibly well produced. And there's so
I watched the whole thing.
You're fucking goddamn right I did. Oh, it's got 7.3 million views. I'm not the only person who was interested in how invisible walls work.
No, listen, Kylar showed me. He said, check out this A button press video. And I don't give a shit about Mario. I don't give a shit about speed running. I didn't even give a shit about what was going on in the video, but I watched the whole thing with him. And that was like his 10th time watching it. Like we just sat there and watched it. Like I don't care about none of this, but I'm totally interested in what's happening right now. They're very well produced.
Yeah. Now, for one other detail too, for this case, for this accusation that he did, there was a video that Karl Jobst posted about, I think it was, let me see if I can find it. I think it was a Dark Souls video. And at the end of it, he did talk about the claim that he made and basically retracted it and made an apology for it. But the judge has basically said by this point, it had already been seen by so many individuals that there's already been like too much of an impact to Mr. Mitchell's reputation, and it was still defamation. Do you guys think that Karl will try to appeal this or no?
I'm sure he'll try.
I mean, why would you not
why
at
wouldn't
least
you try?
Yeah.
I guess, yeah. Why not try? If it's on
Now,
the
do I
table.
think the judge was correct? Kind of. Like,
Yeah.
This has been like a lot of Karl's career, is just most people know him for shutting down Billy Mitchell, so yeah, I don't know. I would say, you know what? I'm not going to say anything. I like I said, I'm interested to see where this goes.
Yeah. Do you know how much money did he raise in that fundraiser? Do you know?
No. We can check real quick.
What's crazy too is like this court case has like a ton of YouTube comments and everything in it as well, which is kind of crazy.
It would
almost 150,000.
Oh, geez, that's a lot of money, but
I don't know why. I just remembered.
it's not nearly
Was
enough.
it you was talking about the critical denying giving an apology? Or no, it was giving an apology in the form of a fart in the mic. Was that you?
Maybe. Maybe. I remember seeing that clip. I don't really know what it was in reference to. I can't remember.
Well,
but
just like-
yeah, I definitely remember his apology video of him just farting into the microphone.
It was just the fact, like the YouTube comments being used in the court. Just that was also used as evidence, wasn't it? Him farting in the mic.
I don't know.
I think that
Now I
was
gotta
what we were
Google
talking
more
about.
stuff. Thanks.
Like Critical was laughing at the fact that they used flatulence in court as evidence.
Yeah, I don't. I'll
Maybe
have
not
to
in that
look.
case, but in a case against him, I think. I don't know.
No idea. I'm just getting a lot of critical farts into a mic.
I think
I
he
don't
does.
see how it has any-
I think he does that a lot.
Yeah, I'm not watching these.
That might not smell great.
No, I'm good. I have better things to do with my time.
Bro, why does your mic smell like shit?
Oh, ew. It's got particles.
Dude, your mic smells like ass.
No, that's what I imagine, like when people, like, I don't know, sing on stage at like like American Idol or something, like somebody's getting a gross mic at some point. Like that's had to have
You
happened.
think,
Where somebody
like,
just
they never
spit
cleaned
all
them or
over
whatever?
it, and they had like dragon breath, and they're just this mic comes back and it's got like rotten tooth juice on it. And here you go, sing your favorite song.
What if that is their song? What if their song is what? And they win.
Oh, then they win. All right, what else are we doing? We've lost the plot.
No.
That's pretty much it for the lawsuit as of right now. So he probably will try to appeal this. I don't see a reason why he wouldn't, besides maybe more, fees for a lawyer. But at this point, he's kind of fucked anyways. Might as well try. But yeah, if anything pops up afterwards, I'll be sure to let you guys know.
Well, thank you very much. I had an idea of what was happening, but I didn't realize you'd gone that deep into it.
Yeah, it's it was very disheartening to read that after following it for quite a while.
Well, what's that thing about heroes and villains? Die a hero or live long enough to become the villain?
I guess so.
Yeah. What you got next?
That's it for me.
All right. Is that Tsun's turn? Tsun, what do you have for us today?
Yay. Okay. So I guess there was a public BAFTA poll recently for the public to vote on what is the most influential game of all time. Can you guess what won?
Well, hold on. What's BAFTA?
I don't remember what BAFTA actually stands for, but I think it has to do with like games and stuff. Do you remember what BAFTA actually stands for?
British Academy Film Awards?
Ah.
Oh, it is. Yeah, that's not what it. Yeah, that's what it is. British Academy Film Awards. All right. I don't know where the T comes from.
Television.
Oh, British Academy of Film and Television Arts, BAFTA.
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, they held a public poll on the most influential game of all time. Can you guess what won? So it was
The
Shenmue.
Last of Us, right?
No, Shenmue.
Wait, what?
Shenmue was voted the most influential of all time.
On the Dreamcast?
Yeah.
With all those terrible sequels?
Yeah.
The game where you just go and work? Like I remember playing that, and you get introduced to a mystery, and then you drive a forklift and play pachinko. Yeah. And I stopped playing after that because I was too broke. Did it really?
Yeah, it was
like,
above Doom. It was above Super Mario Bros. It was above Half-Life.
Oh, those were included in Shenmue 1. Somebody's bias. This is fake.
Legend of Zelda was beat.
Who did this?
How the fuck is Kingdom Come 2 Deliverance in this list? It's 7th.
Yeah, that was one of the weird ones. People were like,
this
that's a bit...
This list doesn't make any sense.
People voted for it.
Oh, yeah.
Look, it beat Pong.
Hold on. This list also says
it beat Tetris.
The top 20 most influential games of all time. And it's there's 21 games on this list. This list sucks.
The people voted for it. It's public.
Shit, dude. What is that?
Look,
yeah, no, this is bad.
Beat The Sims. No one said the fucking poll was good. It was just like funny.
Interesting.
I'd like to see their criteria.
I don't actually know
like
what their criteria was.
Like, look, Shenmue, yeah, that was a influential game. Was it as influential as Tetris or Pong? No.
Like
that's not even close.
I mean, I think part of the argument is like Shenmue, I think, kind of like made QTEs more of a thing.
That is a dog shit reason.
That is the worst. Was it like the game that influenced other games in the worst way? Because those are,
I don't know, man. It popularized the use of QTEs is what they say, but
that's actually the reason they give is QTEs.
And also the fact the NPC and simulation elements were also a big deal for the time.
I mean, that is true. It was. There was like I don't think there was really any game even close to it.
Like it did a good chunk of stuff that no other game had done before.
Okay, but like when Pong came out, it was like the only game, right?
No, there was still a kick of the can.
Okay.
Yes, please. Kick the can.
Well, I was Asteroid before it?
I think they had
Fucking no,
calculator.
Asteroid's
You
not
ever
on this
play
list. Nobody remembers
calculator?
it.
It was the first game to grab wide-scale public attention, according to Museum of Play.
The first game was Tennis for Two? No.
That's the first Pong-like game.
I was gonna say that
believe.
just sounds like a
Oh,
different
no.
version of Pong.
Space
no,
War.
it's
Space War is
seeing
considered
here.
the first
Space
recognized
War.
video.
Well, I'm
game.
seeing one that does say Tennis for Two is the official first video game. Oh well. Either way, any of these are more influential in the long run than, I don't know. I guess it's kind of like saying like who's the most influential band. I'm not a Beatles fan, but I can recognize that they're the reason a lot of the music is the way it is today. I wouldn't give it to like Korn.
The disdain.
I feel
I
like
like
that's
Korn,
what
but
is,
it's
people
us.
would disagree with you probably.
Probably BAFTA would disagree with me. They would say Korn forever.
All the Korn fans, I can hear them right now. Running to Flizz's house.
I only say that because I've actually been listening to a lot of Korn lately. So, you know. Well, now we know we can't trust the BAFTAs for anything.
This was a public poll. Can't-
I mean,
It's
you
like,
still
Now
can't
I'm
trust
even
it.
more confused.
It's the real Game Awards, okay? Like you don't know
fuck.
about this is the,
The
real
real
I'm
Real
just
Game
saying this was a
Awards.
public poll. This is what the public chose.
The
I didn't even realize that. That's also strange. That's not like I would argue that most people haven't, you know, like compared to Tetris or Super Mario Brothers, people that don't know what Shenmue is.
You'd be surprised. I've heard a lot of people talk about Shenmue that I wouldn't expect to talk about it.
Yeah, but like I said,
They're in a
compared to
different-
Tetris or Mario,
Mario or Doom. It's an entirely different
where's my
ballpark.
Shenmue movie
Where's my
starring
where's,
Jack Black?
Where's Shenmue 3? Well, that was a question for a long time.
The thing. Shenmue 3 is a thing. What do you...
Yeah. You know how fucking long it took to get Shenmue 3?
Good chunk of time, but it is a thing.
People also did not like it very much.
Yeah, but they didn't vote for Shenmue 3. They voted for Shenmue 1.
Where was this vote even? Like, where did this vote
I don't
come
fucking
from?
know. This article doesn't say where it was, man.
So mad. He got so angry.
You're questioning me on things that I can't answer.
I'm just asking where you're being, like, where this vote came from. I don't know who votes in terms of.
Hold on. I love this. Shenmue voted the most influential video game in all time in the BAFTA poll. It is a game about love and identity, but it also has forklift truck races.
It does. Like, it does have. That's got to get you some points, though. Forklift truck races is pretty great.
I mean, that's a great sentence, but I don't know if it equates to the most influential game.
Truly ahead of its time.
Yeah.
Have you ever tried to race a forklift?
Yeah, in real life and in Shenmue.
Yeah.
It's not great.
Now what
They're
if,
not really made for
now
it.
what if you did a smash of not made for it? I don't know,
Like a
man.
smash derby
When
and
when I used
forklifts,
to
everybody
drive-
would die.
When I used to drive a forklift, that thing hauled ass and could
Yeah.
turn on a dime.
Yeah, but if you can't drive them with speed or else you're going to tip.
This one would never.
Uh-oh.
This
You
one
didn't
was
take a
also
forklift
really
safety
old,
course
so it
then.
probably did not have as many safety features.
It would probably tip more.
It was one of those. It
Anyway.
was one of those stand-up ones where the way you turned, you spun the wheel that was like behind you.
Yeah, the standing lifts, I
Yeah.
fucking hate those things. They're horrible. Like the thin, skinny ones.
This one was like, I don't know. This one never it never felt a tipping, no matter how much weight you put on it. I don't know.
Welcome back to Forklift Talk. With
The only reason it fucking broke is because our shitty produce guy ran it into a truck.
Were you the shitty produce
Fuck
crew?
you, Gary.
Poor Gary. He's just trying
Gary's
to
the most
Gary was a
influential
freak.
forklift driver.
Gary was weird.
All right. Okay. Before we get sued by Gary,
I don't even know if he knows what technology is.
Okay,
Oh
now
my
you're
God, you're
really
making
going to
it
get
worse.
yourself sued.
Motherfucker.
What else you got soon?
Know that motherfucker anymore. Anyway. But also,
We found this. We found the sore spot. Let's poke it every day
it's
from now
just
on.
funny. Gary's a very interesting guy. We're talking like Jesus approved swear type.
Oh, we're gonna need some Gary stories at the end of some of these episodes. I want some Gary stories.
Oh, yeah.
He's just like a really, really religious weird guy.
No.
Yeah.
All right.
I found here's another article from RPS RP Shotgun. So apparently the next shooter from the GTFO crew, sorry. What is it called? Den of Wolves? It's gonna have microtransactions.
Okay,
But
well,
no
there's
loot
what?
boxes, math fuckery, or buckazoids.
I mean, that doesn't.
What did you?
Really
Those are
surprised
actual.
me that-
Those are actual terms that like one of the devs used.
I mean, that's
That's
not
normal.
news.
Yeah, that's normal.
Well,
I mean, I'm not coming
the
down on you. I'm just
it's
saying,
the
like,
fact that like
we
I think
know.
they want to try making it like a live service game.
Yeah, I'm surprised GTFO wasn't, to be honest.
Well,
For how
so,
long
okay,
it's
so
in
the
development?
reason they want to do it, I mean, reading it did make sense because back when they made GTFO, they were a much smaller team.
Right.
Yeah, they when they made GTFO, they had 9 members of staff. That was it. Now they have 100.
Oh shit!
yeah.
Really?
So it's grown.
And so Den of Wolves is more ambitious, and they need a lot more funds because there's a lot more burn. But yeah,
Alright,
apparently there will be DLC, but it's nothing like pay to win or anything. It'd be like, like DLC maps and stuff. And apparently, if one person owns them, then the entire lobby can use it.
Okay, because I was going to say the huge bars for entry with GTFO is everybody has to copy or everybody has to have a copy, and it's also a game that you don't really have fun in. Like you have to try
Everything is
really hard
miserable.
sometimes. Yeah. Well, I mean, it's fun in an accomplishment way, like when you successfully complete things, or when what you try to do works. But like
But the atmosphere
definitely
is
one
miserable.
of the more difficult games I've played.
Correction. The atmosphere is one of miserable likeness.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's a horror game, but like that's what I'm saying. Like the entry for new players is like you got to own a copy, all your friends have to own a copy, and it's going like you don't get a chance to really have fun in that game. Like if you fuck around, you die and you lose, and everybody dies.
Yeah, apparently, yeah, they're gonna have DLC. The price, I guess, the price is gonna be similar to like GTFO or Payday. So they're
What
not
do you
going
guys
like.
think of that game, Den of Wolves? I remember seeing the trailer for it, and I remember thinking
I
it
don't
looks
even
really
remember it.
cool.
It's the thing is we
And
saw like a
then-
very brief trailer. Is it like it's a heist game, right?
Yeah, it basically is like Payday. Like that is kind of what it is. I wasn't really too interested in it, to be honest, because like I've played Payday, and just like another
It
multiplayer like heist game.
I mean, if it's better than Payday 3, that'd be interesting. I don't think it's a very
If you
high
watch
bar,
this-
but
The official trailer, it literally like you wouldn't be able to tell that it's not Payday.
besides like the more
Like you would
future
just
tech and
think
stuff.
this is Payday. No, not even this. It just looks like Payday. I
Yeah,
don't see a whole lot of future tech. Maybe somebody's got like a metal plate in their face, but they're still wearing masks. They're still doing a heist. Looks like Payday to me.
Oh, I was gonna say because like there's a point in the video where they like put like this weird like robo spider like safe cracker or something on the vault. That's what I was talking about.
Oh, oh yeah. There's like a future glass. Still just looks like Payday. Anyway,
I don't know. It could be interesting.
I'm not saying it couldn't. I'm just saying that's what the trailer looks like. Still better than that Ark trailer.
I mean, if it's good, yeah, I'll give it a try. It's just, again, it's hard to justify it because it's a lot of money for like 4 friends to put down to try a game. Because I'm sure it's going to be, like $40 or something.
It sounds like it's the quote was like it's gonna be premium price, but not exactly like a AAA.
Well, AAA now is like $80 to $90.
Yeah, that's why I'm not like so like it's hard to tell exactly.
Kylar.
Yeah, that's what I said. Like, because even GTFO, it was, how much was it? Was it like $30? Or was it 20? I think it was 30.
Let me see.
I thought it was 40.
GTFO was
definitely wasn't full price.
So for me, it's like $44.99.
Okay, so yeah, it's like $40 US.
Yeah,
and I remember that it was hard to kind of justify us all getting it to play it, and this one I'm not so sure, especially because like we've kind of all played Payday, and I don't think we really played very much of it together. That just didn't really happen. How much is Payday 3 actually?
I don't know.
Did they ever fix it?
It's $30. It's actually cheaper than that.
I don't know. Did they ever fix it? It's still mixed reviews, so who knows?
I never knew what was wrong with that. All I know is as soon as it came out, people fucking hated it. I didn't know why.
We trusted Strider's opinion because he's the Payday guy.
Yeah,
and he said nope.
Dude, okay,
they're still just like people's top reviews are just saying buy Payday 2.
Dude, here's a I don't know. So first off, this review on Steam, it was posted today, but it's they recommend it, but they say in comparison to Payday 2, it loses in almost every regard.
Well, curious to see some gameplay of it. I haven't seen anything about it.
The
I heard apparently, like if you let randoms join your game, the randoms can't actually do anything but kill things. Like they can't actually like do objectives at all.
Payday or Den of Wolves?
Which is weird. In Den of Wolves.
It is weird, unless that's to prevent griefing. I don't know.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know what it's there for. Maybe to make, I guess so, to prevent griefing. It just seems kind of weird. Maybe it's so you don't feel like you're just being carried by a bunch of people and you still feel like you're the one in charge. I don't know.
Which is weird because this article from Rock Paper Shotgun also they're quoted, the creators are quoted as saying this one won't be constant shooting when being compared to Payday. So
more stealth, maybe,
to be like, it wants you to be like, use gadgets, plan your heist, from what I'm reading, but then to be like, only you can do that and the other people in your team just have to shoot. Seems a little off.
A little bit weird. I mean, if it's cool, if it has more of those elements, like you actually had to plan stuff out, because I remember Payday, you just run and gun. Like being stealthy was such a hassle in comparison to just shooting everything.
Well, we played that one heist game where we like tried to do all the levels without killing anybody. That was kind of fun for a little bit.
Didn't it turn out that you actually can't?
One of them, I don't think you
can. We tried for like 2 hours.
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how it comes. Oh, what else do you got?
It's gonna have to try to be worse than Payday 3. That's for sure.
I want to talk about. I'm playing a bit of Atomfall.
What's that?
So Atomfall is an action survival game, I guess you could say. It's not exactly an RPG. There's elements, but it's like it's post-apocalyptic. It's like a Stalker Fallout hybrid kind of gameplay wise. It takes place in Britain.
Atomfall is often referred to as being the British version of Fallout.
That's the thing, but it's not. Right. It's more like a like Fallout and Stalker had a baby. That was what first got my attention, was when they say like a British version of Fallout, and then when I played it, I was like, oh no, this is a lot more Stalker
Here's another,
Fallout.
here's another article. While the start of Atomfall feels like the beginning of a Fallout game, much of the actual exploration feels more similar to Stalker.
Yeah, exactly. Dude, that is one of the things so far I'm loving is the exploration is pretty neat. Everywhere I've explored has had like something,
All right.
whether it's led to like quests or just items and other things. But it takes place in an alternate like history where so I don't know if you ever heard of the wind scale fire.
No.
That was an incident. That was a disaster that happened in Cumberland, I think it was. Yeah, it was in Cumberland in the UK, where they had a 2-pile nuclear site, and one caught fire, which released a bunch of like radioactive fallout and stuff into the area. And
It's not funny. Why are you laughing?
shut the fuck up, motherfucker.
Oh my god.
Anyways.
So aggressive. He knew it. First he moans. Now he's
Hey,
in
man.
defensive.
At least I'm here. Anyways.
We all are. That's how this works.
I'm not. I'm off in La La Land on cold
Astral
medicine.
projection.
I'm thinking about half A presses. Keep going.
No, I was just gonna
Still
say
stuck.
so like the alternate time is obviously the wind scale fire was worse, but and more crazy anomaly type stuff happened, and that your entire Cumberland region gets quarantined, and that's basically it's like a British zone compared to like the Stalker's Chernobyl zone. But yeah, no, it's also it's a fun game. The survival aspects are pretty light. There's not like food or anything. Like, well, there is food to heal, but not like hunger or thirst or
Okay,
anything.
so it's not true survival. It's more
only
like
2
your like
meters you have-
scavenge survival.
Yeah, the only 2 meters you have are your health and your heartbeat, which heartbeat is just another way to kind of show stamina.
Have you guys played a survival game that had harder survival mechanics than Green Hell? Like where you just living was like
I'm trying to
so
think.
hard to get
I
going.
want to say yes, but in different ways. But Green Hell is definitely like the most fucking punishing. Manage your
every time I thought I was doing
macronutrients.
well. Dude, every time I thought I was like, all right, I got my base build, I got food, I got water, and I got bit by a snake. Fuck, I gotta. Here we go on an
Probably-
adventure that I'm probably gonna die
Oops, I
doing.
licked a toad.
Project Zomboid is probably the hardest.
Yes, okay.
Just
Project
because
Zomboid
it's
is
so
insane.
hard to actually learn. Like there's
Yes.
so much to the game.
That game has a lot, and also you can get like one little scratch, and you can be pretty much dead.
Yeah.
Because if you don't have stuff to treat it, it will get infected real fast.
Yeah, I died multiple times just because I kept going in and out of windows.
Oh, in
Apparently.
Project
How
Zomboid.
to do that? Yeah. Also, I gave myself every negative debuff. I don't know why, but
It's
didn't
not
help.
it doesn't start out as it, but you can definitely make Kenshi to be much harder than Green
Oh
Hell.
yeah, that one.
Yeah, there are definitely ways to do that.
Kenshi's a lot
Um,
harder if you're a little shit. Like,
Yeah. Yep. I mean, I'm pretty sure there's a start where you can just straight up start as a someone locked inside of a cage in a camp of cannibals or something. Like that is the start of the game, and your goal is to get out and try to live. Good luck.
I guess.
Now I kind of want to play.
Dude, you should get it. I'm surprised you haven't. They're coming out with Kenshi 2 at some point. I know they're making it.
Oh, speaking of survival
wait for
games,
the sale.
you know what we should check out again at some point? I guess, Lionel, you'd probably be specifically most interested. Abiotic Factor.
I know there's a huge update
I
with
was
that
gonna say,
recently.
I think there's been several.
Yeah.
That'd be
I
interesting
just
to
got
check out
lost
again.
in the sauce in that game. There's so much going on.
Yeah, we had our little office space, and that guy kept coming up at night asking for food.
I know he's so nice, but then you give him
And-
food and he like crawls away.
He's crawling the whole time, and he'll give you items if you feed him. But I was afraid he was going to explode into creatures or something.
It's
He was talking about his parasites he needed to feed. Like, go, please leave. Go away.
Get away from me.
Is this the game that I returned? I played for like an hour with you guys, and I
Yeah.
Abiotic
Wait,
Factor?
yeah,
I think,
okay.
yeah.
Yep. Totally
Yeah,
is.
okay. All right.
We had a lot of fun with it, though.
It sounded like it. Not for me.
What is for you?
Well, it's got really good ratings. I don't know, man.
Fighting games.
Yeah, I really like fighting games.
Except for Tekken.
I'm not even good at them.
What about that?
I do like
What
Tekken.
about your celebrity that you were
My celebrity.
hype for getting into City of Wolves?
Oh, Fury
fucking
Wolves?
Salvatore Ganacci. Oh, I kind of want to play SNK now. I never gave a shit about that series, and then they put my boy in with all that banger music. Even the commercial for him was so fucking him. I'm like, this is the guy. Let's go.
What an interesting
I
like
love Salvatore
choice.
Ganacci. I think he couldn't have. I don't even know who you that. There's very few people that like I recognize the names of and like would be even mildly starstruck. I find that guy intensely entertaining. So maybe I'll pick up SNK. If anybody else plays it,
Just
I might not
hope
play
that
it
its
if it's
community
just
doesn't
me.
hate themselves as much as Tekken.
Dude, the Tekken community needs to stop. they
They
are
hate their new,
so
their new
serious.
update is fucking insane from
It
what I
sounds
understand.
like- It sounds like they're super self-loathing. Like,
It's that there's a couple factors going on here. One is like there's just like this doomer energy to the whole. Even before this update, people just like hate parts of the game, and there's a lot of that like, well, Tekken 7's better, and it's like, maybe, I don't know, but like nobody's really just happy to play a fighting game. Partly because Tekken is like probably the most difficult fighting game. Like you have to learn the most stuff.
I can say
There's
like,
a lot
you-
of shit happening.
Watching you like check out the move list and then trying to there's a lot. Like,
Yeah, well, it's not, and that's not even the stuff you got to learn that's difficult. It's like every move can hit from multiple angles and differences in height and like, or every interaction, and it's like a huge get. At this point, the game apparently is very 50-50 oriented, and people don't like that. People like being able to learn a thing, and then they're like, oh yeah, and also grabs do chip damage on when you counter a grab, you still take chip damage, and people did not like that, which is fair.
Yeah.
That seems kind of goofy.
The offense in this, then from what I understand, has been buffed to like a 13 out of 10. It's insane.
It's
like it's just
and that game
overwhelming.
is that game is really like, if you're just getting into fighting games, I would not suggest Tekken at this point. It is just, you can button mash and have a good time, but like if you're trying to learn, like there's other games you probably want to start with. There's a lot going on, and it's very punishing. I can't remember another game where like sometimes I'd run into characters and just they'd know a string of 1 or 2 hits and I would just lose. Like they could just do the same little things over and over again. And by the time I finally figured out what to do, like it was too late. I'd already lost. And then I'd save that for the next person. And the next person would have another entirely different thing on that same character that fucked me up just as bad, but I didn't know how to counter that either. So I don't know. I want to play it more. It's just kind of, I got to actually press start. You know, it's daunting a little bit.
You've got to press start. Your
But I
computer
like
can't
it.
explode.
Yeah. It's only crashed on me once. So
I mean, that's a higher success rate than Marvel, funny enough.
absolutely Marvel, but I don't know.
I like Marvel.
Marvel's
So
too
you're
big.
about
I
to
fucking
say.
love Marvel Rivals. I'm so hyped for this fucking
do.
update.
Yeah, me too. What were we talking about?
We were talking about Atomfall.
Oh yeah. Did you have any other stuff you want to talk
so,
about? It sounds like your kind of game from what you said.
Well, okay, the one thing I want to talk about, probably the last part of it is like the way they do missions or like quests in that game, because they do it kind of the same as like Assassin's Creed Shadows. I mean, Shadows gives you things right outright, but in or like starts you off and then it's like investigate this. But one of the cool things with Atomfall is it's just like there's there's like no like direction. Like you find leads which lead to investigations and stuff, and they give you like you use the information from those to basically find like your goal and all that. I have like I think 8 different potential things pointing to the main story quest, and I haven't done them yet. So I'm like, anything that mentions this, I am not doing because I want to do side content. But you know, just like exploring, I could find like, oh, this node leads here, and then this leads here, and like there's multiple different ways to start the same missions depending on where you find the like thing that's contextual to it.
It sounds very Fallout. I think Fallout 4 was the one that I helped bring about and then dismantle multiple factions before I even got to the main city because I just like didn't want to do the main story quests. And then by the time I did them, I was done playing. I just stopped playing.
Yeah, I'll give an interesting example. Say like there's an NPC that has something you want, but they're tied to like an investigation or mission or whatever. You can just kill them. And then you could still pick up that lead later on by another NPC involved in it, or finding a note that is involved with it too.
All right. Is there a morality system?
I don't know. Not that I've seen. So no, you can straight up. Yeah, I'm pretty sure one of the things is you can just take out anyone you see.
Okay.
It might make it harder.
But you get cool stuff.
Oh yeah. Dude, just exploring, I found like higher tier guns than I expected. There was a quest where I found a guy in a basement who was actually connected to another mission like thing I had, and I was like, I'll do that later. And it was like a Russian infiltrator. And I helped him fix his radio because he said he'd give me something. And then I was like exploring around later on after helping him, and then I found him again in a cave and he was dead. And like but when I checked out his body, I was like, oh, cool. He's got a really nice rifle. And I took that. I was like, okay, this worked out well for me. Goodbye. Like,
I was say he has a really nice radio. Awesome.
No, that radio was nowhere to be seen, man. He just went off and died in a cave of ferals. And I was like, what the fuck happened? Why did I help you? I'll take your gun, though. You're not using it.
All right. So you'd recommend this to
anybody that likes
survival
stalker Fallout type stuff.
Okay.
Combat's also interesting because you can like bluff your way through things as well. If you point like an unloaded gun at someone, they only have like a machete, they'll like the NPCs will actually like back up and stuff. And like comments on like it's on Game Pass. That's where I'm playing it.
Yeah, it's on Game Pass because if you look on Steam, I think it's like $50.
Oh, it's a full price game.
Yeah, but if you have Game Pass or if you don't have it, you can just grab it real quick because it's way cheaper.
Yeah, everything's very British.
Well, now you lost me.
Why?
I'm just playing. All right, cool. Well, thank you, Tsun.
Yeah.
I won't check it out. I don't have the time for this stuff anymore, man, but I want to.
I check it out as I can when we're not playing Schedule 1 or Marvel.
Yeah.
I like
Schedule. You guys been liking that Schedule 1.
I've been liking it a lot.
It's like one of those tycoon games. It's really fun. Very addicting watching the number go up.
Yeah, it's also insane to look at. If you look at the devs like planned roadmap, he has a lot planned for the fucking game.
Yeah. Excited.
I guess then we're on to Strider. I think somebody else watched Nintendo. I didn't get a chance to, but I know you got that and some other stuff. What you got?
I'm just going to cover the direct. That'll be enough.
Beautiful.
Yep. Because
I've seen a lot of blurbs that have me worried.
So I'll kind of go through it from what I remember how the direct goes. So they opened up with they showed off the new Mario Kart. So we'll talk about that first. And it's not Mario Kart 9. It's called Mario Kart World. One of the big selling points for it is that now they're doing basically all of the courses you could drive off of them. It basically open world type situation. And there's also like new modes where like you drive from one course to the next. It's like one continuous line of like there's like 24 players or whatever. And then for each course you go through, this was like a new game mode they showed off like the bottom, like so many people would be cut off until it's eventually one person left after like 7 races or something like that.
Okay.
But
Hey,
I'm not surprised they started with Mario Kart because Mario Kart sells numbers.
It does.
yeah. What's the last Mario Kart you guys played and liked?
I want to say,
I haven't played like any
Was
of
it-
them.
was
I
it
would
Double
probably-
Dash? I
I
think
would
was
say
the last one.
whichever one was on the Wii. I forget which number it is. But yeah, no.
Yeah, same.
Like it's fucking crazy to me because you could probably I bet if you open the eShop right now, Mario Kart 8 it is top selling because
Yeah,
it
it's always
stays
up
there.
there.
It stays there because I think they've passed 75 million copies old or something like that. And since you know it's Nintendo, that price never drops. And speaking of prices never drop, this game and other first party games are going to cost $80 digital. And there was reports that I believe in the UK that the physical version of it is going to cost $85 or $90 was early reports.
Ouch.
I'm kind of glad I'm not a Nintendo fan after hearing some of this stuff. I don't hate Nintendo, but like I just don't care about it.
Yeah.
And yes, Mario Kart is on the top page. No, it's not at the top, but it's
What is
still
at the
sitting
top?
up there for full price. Minecraft.
That's fair. Yeah, those two will
Yeah.
usually bounce around.
Why is Nickelodeon Kart Racers beating Mario Kart? What? Maybe my list is weird.
No, it knows what you want. It knows deep in your
Yeah,
heart.
games best sellers. Yeah, no, Nickelodeon Kart Racers is kicking ass. Overcooked is up there too, and Xenoblade.
I'm not surprised about Xenoblade being one of the a very recent major release for the Switch.
Yeah.
But
Did I also hear something about the physical copies being not quite that as well?
define well, they're not actual physical copies. They're just like that.
Yeah.
Yes, from what I understand.
Do you just get the cartridge and you download
Yes.
it with a download code
It's
on
just
it?
a memory card.
Yeah, yep. But don't worry,
That's so lame.
the internal storage is 8 times larger than the Switch. It's now 256 gigs.
Oh,
Thank
damn.
God. Thank God.
My daughter has a Switch, and I constantly have to delete
You
games off
can't
that bitch.
archive
It,
things
like,
all the time.
all the time. It is so small.
Yeah, you need a micro SD
And
card for it, which is what I have got
Yeah.
for my Switch.
And then even then, you're still pretty limited.
I got, I
Shoot.
think, a 64 gigabyte or 128 gigabyte micro SD for my Switch. I can't think which one off the top of my head. But it's
I
definitely.
got 2 terabytes in here, and it's not enough.
Are you talking about your computer?
Yeah, I'm talking about my computer.
Well, you're not going to get a fucking Switch game that's like larger than like maybe 15, 20 gigs at most.
Well, no, some of them are like some of them are pretty big because I know that her thing only holds 3 or it's I don't know, I don't think it has a micro SD.
Yeah, I probably 32 gigabyte model, right?
It holds 3 games at most at any time,
Yep, that's how.
which is nothing.
Yeah,
That's
depending on
because
the
I
size.
think it's 32. I think is
I
the default
I
internal storage. I don't know if there's other versions of the Switch that has it, but no, that's
don't know.
there was a reason I got an SD card. It was because I was tired of deleting every fucking thing I wanted to try to play.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right,
I mean,
so-
they do make like terabyte SD cards. If you want to get them.
Yeah. Would you? It just seems like
I feel like a terabyte
For
would
the
be
Switch?
able to
overkill.
hold.
Would be overkill.
Yeah.
I think.
But if you don't ever have to worry about it, you know.
It's
you
true.
just
You wouldn't
buy
have
that
to.
and you're good. Unless it breaks. Unless it corrupts. You're like, oh fuck.
then you really have to worry.
Just melts inside your Switch.
The
Oh,
slot
right.
has been taken up forever.
I just never realized how weak the Switch really was until I played Minecraft on it a few weeks ago. That shit does not work.
Yeah,
It is bunko.
No, it's not great.
But like the way that Nintendo can get some of their games to look on the Switch is a fucking marvel.
It is. Honestly, I'm actually kind of surprised because there's been huge backlash on the price that Mario Kart World and their first parties are going to be because they're coming up to $80 now for digital. It surprises me so much because that's becoming standard now of like $70, $80 like AAA games. And the reason it surprises me is because for a lot of the AAA games that come out, they're like 70 or 80 bucks and they run like dog shit. Like they run terribly. Like there's so many people that can't even play the game or they do and it looks like shit. I've never had a Nintendo game on their consoles ever be like they're always fine. They always work well. There's never a problem.
The quality assurance on them is insane. You know it's going to work. You know it's going to be good. Like I don't think they have a bad first party game, like hardly ever.
Oh yeah. Like I think I said it before when we were talking about hot takes. Like I don't mind them being $80 for Nintendo like first party games because I know they're just going to be fine. I don't have to worry about like, oh shit, is my computer going to be able to run the shit, or is my PlayStation 4 going to be able to run it at 30 or 60 FPS? Oh man. Like it's just I don't have to worry about that with this. That's like one thing that I'm surprised people don't like really mention, and I can't believe it's so negative about it. I think the main thing is that the price for both the console and the game is what you really see, and that's what makes it feel so awful.
Well, there's that, but the thing I see complained about the Switch in terms of pricing for games is the fact that Nintendo never drops their price ever.
Like the base price, sure.
Like even their sales usually aren't that strong either. But I mean, they don't need to because Mario Kart 8 sold 75 million fucking copies, and it's been the same price since it launched, and it still is.
Yeah, I'm looking at the page and only the ports are on sale. I don't think anything that's
main party Nintendo titles basically never go on sale.
Yeah, they don't. They usually say the same price.
But moving on past Mario Kart, the next thing that was shown off was they went over a bunch of the technical stuff on the Switch too. So like they don't do hard specs of the actual hardware. They just give some overview of the.
You get what you get.
But like they mentioned resolution and they never do that. Like they don't give any technical mumbo jumbo. But they're targeting when it's docked, they are targeting a either 4K 60 FPS or I believe 1080 120 FPS is I believe what they're targeting for docked in terms of like what it's capable of outputting.
All right.
They've shown off that the actual screen is bigger. I think it's an LED, I believe. A screen. It's apparently got
it's LCD screen.
Is it LCD? Okay.
Yep, it is LCD screen.
It's got a variable refresh VRR screen. I believe it's a 1080, which is up from the Switch's 800. I think, if I'm remembering correctly. They showed off the new Joy-Cons, which are now magnetic. Another thing they can now do is that the Joy-Cons can be used as mice. As in, you can put them on their side and use them as a mouse.
I thought that was silly, but then I saw Civilization is going to be on the Switch too. And then it made like way more sense because you can just play Civilization with a mouse, essentially. And it just works.
The problem with Civilization 7 is that it's designed for a gamepad.
I was going to say the problem with Civ 7 is it's Civ 7, but also, yes.
It's designed for a gamepad, so that... they showed off that they're adding voice chat. Like they have like a 7-minute like presentation on their voice chat, basically.
Let's go.
Which is an online subscription service. You need the online service to use it. It uses the C button, which was meme to hell and back in the YouTube chat while I was watching. But they also have a screen share feature. What?
Wait, there's a button.
There's a button on the Switch
that's subscription based, like a physical button
that only works with when you have the online subscription because it's the voice chat button.
Does the light like not come on anymore? Or like
it's just a button. It's like literally like a C, like square. It's a square with
crazy.
a C. Yeah, no, they literally have the subscription button.
I think it's like
That's
for communicate or something.
It's for chat. It's for chat and game chat is what I see. Or Connect.
That's like BMW charging you to like a subscription service for their heat warmers. Like the physical thing is there.
We're not done yet.
How can you charge?
We're not done yet
God.
with some other stupid shit that comes out of this. The screen share feature looks fucking awful. It's like someone streaming at like 480 at 15 FPS. Like in their presentation, they're showing off that I don't know if it was just the way they were featuring it, but basically the way it would work is like Discord. We were messing around with this before we started recording. How you had the big box up top, right, and then everyone else was smaller on the bottom. That's basically how it looked in the presentation, where your game was smaller, like kind of letterboxed at the top, and then you saw everyone else's perspective at the bottom. Like talking. I don't know if that was just to show off in the presentation in the direct, or if that's how it's going to actually look. But they were showing that like you could swap to someone else's perspective to bring it up, and they do it, and it looks awful because it's Mario Kart that they were showing this off with, and the stream is chugging. Like
I'm like checking it out, and this is not something you should advertise. Like this, you like fake it. Do not even put this out because the main screen looks great. All the little screens on the bottom are literally they're fucking chugging.
They're chugging. They're pixelated. It looks terrible, and they show this off.
It looks awful.
They show this off like front and center for like 2 to 3 minutes. I'm like, okay, what's next? And then they brought out this camera that you have to buy to an extension that apparently some games are going to use. It's like, because you were talking about, they added another charging port basically on the top of the Switch as well, because there's one on the bottom. And it's so you can plug this camera in.
Okay.
And it looks...
Oh, they swapped the screens. It's terrible. Why would you advertise this? This looks like they're playing GIFs on the TV.
Oh no.
This is terrible.
It looks so rough. And I was like they show it for a while. Like they really panned it out this hour.
This is like somebody needs to have a conversation with somebody. This is bad.
And then they brought out this camera and they showed off like some of the features, and it's like it like puts you over your overlay, and like you can see the person, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's just capturing you, but it's like kind of a scuffed refresh rate on it. It also doesn't look that good. I don't know if it was the stream or not because like the person was very blurry, like pretty blurry. But it's apparently going to be used for certain games like a Mario Party update, which we'll get back to in a bit.
Seeing this, when they popped up on the screen, my first thought was the Game Boy camera.
Yep.
Oh god.
It made me think of the old like PlayStation attachment.
The resolution is terrible. This is kind of weird. All right.
And then so they were showing off a bunch of features, and then towards the end of when they were showing off the features and stuff of the Switch, they showed off that there's a game, like basically the Astrobot equivalent for Nintendo, of like that will show you like how I'm not even sure like what the gameplay exactly is, but it basically runs you through the Switch too, like its features and everything. Explains like it gives you like little blurbs of like information plus like video demonstration of like how features work and stuff like that. It's a paid game. It's not even free. It's something you have to pay for. That is basically the equivalent of a user manual.
Yeah.
You have to pay for it. And they didn't say the price. At all.
And I,
Like the strangest thing to me is that this is like a lot of people playing these games. Like there's no kids playing the games. These I don't know why that's so weird to me that everybody playing Nintendo is a grown ass man.
I mean, Nintendo's like
that's who
for
this is.
everybody.
I know,
But it's also probably because kid actors.
Or little shits.
I mean, yeah, that's fine. There is one thing I'm seeing that's kind of cool. Like if a kid does want to be on camera, you can put on like a Snapchat filter of Bowser or something to keep the kids off the camera. Like that's fine. That's cool. It just looks like shit. Everything looks like shit.
It looks very scuffed. Oh, I just lost my train of thought.
Sorry. Well, I guess, I mean, because that was always one thing that I don't know. So is this to like reduce the need for a capture card
Maybe it also
in some instances?
because a lot of these features also felt like they were designed with the pandemic in mind. Was what I was thinking.
Yeah, it looks like Zoom calls on Nintendo.
Like basically, yeah. That's
Zoom.
okay, now I remember. And then there's like the mic is literally just built into the Switch, so you basically just yell at your Switch.
Why is everybody yelling all the time?
Like, and they said that like there's noise canceling for like it'll cancel out music and background noise, and I'm like, I've seen this. This is gonna be super scuffed.
Oh.
Like I can only imagine how much audio clipping is gonna happen, or how awful like any chat would be.
It feels like Nintendo's kind of living in the past. Like, just see
They're touting voice chat as a feature in 2025. What do you mean they're in the past? This shit was solved 20 years ago. We are at the 360 era of Xbox Live Party Chat in 2025 for Nintendo.
Yeah, but now you have to pay for it.
So like I said, Xbox Live Party Chat. What do you mean? I mean? They solved this 20 years ago.
PlayStation, Xbox already did this transition like years and years ago. So it's just Nintendo following through with it too.
I get that, but now PlayStation is like Discord compatible, yeah?
I believe
It
so.
is, yeah.
Yeah.
I believe
So,
Xbox is as well.
Yeah. So we're like super behind right
Well, you also have to look at it as like a company that tries to be mostly family friendly. Like generally, like they don't want to mess with third party apps. And they kind of fight themselves over it because we've talked about the Nintendo eShop before and some of the weird fucking games that are on there for some reason.
There's so much garbage in the eShop. It's not. It's like it's less moderated than Steam is. It's awful.
It's funny.
Yeah.
So I see on there, I'm like, what the fuck?
I mean, ultimately, though, like when you buy the Nintendo Switch, like you're buying it for a very specific reason. You're not buying it just so you could like go in Discord calls with friends and stuff. You know what I mean? I would never expect the Switch to be able to have like party chats and everything. That's
yeah, because
I guess why like it's all party games. Why would I not want to be in a big party chat? I got you.
like a lot like, I mean, there's like, also the Nintendo Online is less than stellar.
That's true.
Which also defeats the party game. Okay, sure, whatever. I'm out of this fight.
Well, even for Nintendo, like I don't really play the party games ever. What party games are there? There's Mario Kart and Mario Party.
Smash Brothers.
Smash Bros. I didn't really ever play with very many people.
Well, because online's garbage. I mean, like if they're
it is.
Animal Crossing.
Is that a party game? I don't think it is.
No, I don't play that shit.
But either way, like generally, like it's more a couch co-op gameplay. Is generally what I think of for like Nintendo games.
Hello, cat.
I guess. But yeah, that's the podcast cat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Podcast.
Either way.
Podcat. Oh, I like it. Jack the Pie
Do you guys think people are going to buy this?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
I think so too.
I don't think they
but
could. There's nothing they could do that would ruin their company. Like they've done, they make all these terrible choices, and nobody gives a fuck because
because
the
it's
games
Nintendo.
are good.
They ultimately they make good games. Like
They don't even make good games. They make great games. They're probably by far the average, like the best average quality in a game out of like any company.
yeah,
The
and
average, absolutely. Maybe I don't know. FromSoft is
As a
really
From Software
close.
fanboy, even I would say they're above it.
okay.
And the
All
thing
right.
too is like what this also does solve is kind of like the graphic fidelity that the Switch sort of lacked is pretty much fixed here with the Switch 2. Because you now have games going up to 120 FPS in full HD, or you can now play in 4K at 60 or sometimes just 60 FPS
Yes, just 60.
if you have it docked.
Yep.
So yeah, that was like a big problem with and big contestant for the Switch 1 compared to like the Steam Deck, which performed way better than the Switch 1. So honestly, I think it's going to do pretty well, to be honest. It's just a overall really solid upgrade. I'm happy that there's now a charging port at the top of the fucking console because oh my
Instead of the
god.
bottom?
Yeah, having it at the bottom was terrible. I hated it. I hated it so much.
What do you?
I thought it was the worst.
What was the problem with it at the bottom?
Because the way I would play on the Switch is I'd like lay down on my bed,
Okay.
right?
My,
I have
my
it like
thing has
in
been
front of
docked
me.
for my thing has been docked for like 5
Oh,
years.
He's
It's
in the
No, it's
toxic.
just-
docking.
I'd have like something on TV or something, and I just like tried to lay down, and if I had to charge it, it would just be in the way. It was very
Yeah,
annoying.
it
I
like
understand
stabs
that.
into your chest.
Yeah. And not only is it at the top now, it's also at the bottom.
It's above.
so for the people that prefer it on the bottom, you can keep it. It's fine. Don't worry
Also,
about it.
also it's got its own stand now built in, which is
Yeah,
nice.
the stand is a lot nicer.
But what were you saying, Fliz, before I continue on with the direct?
I was just thinking about it because, like, from a physical standpoint, of course, it's going to be on the bottom. Because if you have it on the top, it's going to bend when somebody moves too much, or But it's also going to fall out of the bottom, so it's it's kind of. I don't know. It doesn't matter. I don't play it anyway.
I think
Like I get it. Like, it'll be fine. It'll be totally fine. And you don't have to worry about like performance mode or your quality mode or will my PC run this or will the game work? Like it's just all those problems will be solved for you. It is like the iPhone of consoles.
well,
You just plug it in and you're good to go.
that's only for first person titles, because some of these titles that they released are coming. There ain't no fucking way. There ain't no fucking way that thing's gonna run these well.
Are you talking about Cyberpunk?
Yeah, Cyberpunk.
Cyberpunk has been confirmed to run at 30 FPS.
Oh, is that in 4K or is that 1080?
It's in 6K.
6K.
All right.
Oh,
Well, should we
man.
talk about the games that are coming on there? Or
I was gonna get I've been
Yeah.
going through it in order.
okay, perfect. Let's go.
So basically most of what they ended up showing off after this was basically a bunch of like ports and other things to the Switch 2 of game of a bunch of major releases basically from the past few years that are coming. That was basically showing off, and plus some what they're calling upgrade packs of like games that like the Mario Party is getting an update that includes the camera and some other stuff that you pay like $20 for apparently.
Yeah, we
To
got
upgrade
that.
your Switch. There's but she gives, and then about halfway through, do you have the video for the direct up? By the way, Fliz.
I had it. Yeah, I have. Well, this is just the game chat video.
Okay, because there was a really great moment, and it wasn't intentional. Is one of the new games they showed off is wheelchair basketball.
Hell
But,
yeah.
Because I need you to watch the direct of the way this ends and it goes into the next game. Because I would
Dragon Drive,
I don't even remember what the
Drag X Drive.
It's
No, this. Oh yeah, no. This is This is the wheelchair where they're using. You're running the mouse.
here. I'll post it. I'll post.
Each Joy-Con controls a wheel, and
Yeah,
you gotta push
yeah.
it.
Seriously,
Like you're
it's
pushing the wheelchair.
That was great. I love it.
Where is this? How
So
far
I
in
need
is
you
this?
guys. This it's like
I feel
it shows off
immersed.
at like 29 minutes, right? I need you to go to about 30 minutes and 45 seconds and just let it play. Because the way this game ends and it leads into the next one had me dying.
Oh, dude, you
okay.
can become an expert at wheelchair basketball.
It's Rocket League with wheelchairs.
Boost.
Because it goes from wheelchair basketball into Elden Ring. And the fucking dissonance in these two fucking was killing me during.
No, what's the difference? They look like the same game
Yeah,
to
man,
me.
the Tarnish uses a goddamn wheelchair.
The wheelchair basketball into Elden Ring in like 10 seconds was beautiful because I was not expecting it.
I was just not. I'm watching. Okay, I was just not expecting motion controls for a wheelchair. That's where I.
That's why I was
and I'm
dumb.
not saying like I'm all about inclusivity, and that's a cool idea. It just makes me laugh. All right, that's fine. It's just funny to me.
You know, it just reminds you. Have you ever seen? I can't remember what the name of it is. There is a horror game for VR where you are wheelchair bound, and that's how you move around.
That sounds horrifying.
You have to like at the same time with your VR, your hand controllers. You gotta wheel yourself along.
Can you just imagine like coming home from work, like hopping on and be like, all right, boys, you ready to play some Drag X Drive? This wheelchair
Your
chairs.
It's funny. There's something about the idea that it's a sport designed for people who can't be active and run. So they have to sit down to play the sport. And we've transported it to inside where you have to sit down and pretend you're in a wheelchair to play. Like it's so absurd.
I want to know the meaning, like for like the pitch of wheelchair basketball with motion controls, like how that conversation went.
Is that insulting? Like, I can't
I don't
tell.
know. I'm not laughing at the wheelchair basketball. I'm laughing at the absurdity of the situation.
Yeah.
It just seems it seems like an idea that should have never made it past, hey guys, what about wheelchair basketball? Get out of my office. Like that's how that should have went, but maybe it'll be a hit. Maybe this is what the people have really been wanting.
I don't know how much like I don't know how much it's going to cost is like the thing. Cause it felt barely above a tech demo from what they showed off was what I was getting the feeling of. Like this is like a tech demo they used to test the mouse motion controls.
All right. Which I think everybody kind of decided, like, are we still on board for motion controls? I thought those were pretty much
What I was saying to
really
myself
likes
was
those.
like all these features going to be used for like the 6 months to 12 months of games after it releases, and then they're just going to disappear off the face of the earth.
That's what happened with the Switch. Just
Yeah,
no games used it like at all.
the motion.
That's what's so absurd, because the idea of having motion controls is you're not just sitting there on a controller playing the game. You have to get up and do stuff for the game where you sit in a wheelchair.
I always still remember playing No More Heroes and having to charge your fucking sword on the Wii.
Yeah,
Do the jack off motion.
I don't know. It's just a weird.
That's what it was.
I'm just imagining you play the game.
Have you
I don't
ever
know why.
seen what that looks like? Have you ever seen what the mechanic is for No More Heroes on the Wii?
I have not. I
So
have
your
not
energy
seen it.
meter starts going flaccid when it runs out. Like it starts to flop, and you actually have to sit there, and Travis starts shaking it really fucking hard.
He even starts two-handing it too.
Yeah, he two-hands it.
when it's really empty.
It starts going. God
I'm
damn
not,
it.
he literally does.
No, that's the whole joke, is that it's like jacking off.
You know what's fucked up is we had this exact conversation last episode,
Yes.
and y'all made me feel like a dick for laughing at it. What the fuck?
It's
We
funny
didn't
the
have to.
second
It's
time.
funny. Like, it was
Yeah.
funny the first time.
Yeah. You were before your time, Fliz. Don't worry about it.
He's about to murder
As
us.
usual.
From before 4 times.
All right.
Oh,
To continue on,
God.
so they basically showed off a bunch of the games and their expansions, or like these upgrades basically, which range from like new content and new stories, like that the Kirby game, for example, is getting, to the Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom one being a $10 upgrade that buffs that quote unquote buffs the resolution and frame rate, and also adds a like mobile app, like ability.
Yeah, it's like a GPS, right?
Yeah, like
with
it's like a
voice.
mobile app
Hell
that you
yeah.
can use to like it'll navigate you to things you mark on the thing, which was interesting.
I thought it was cool.
But people are not happy about $10 and $20 upgrades if you own the Switch 1 version to get the Switch 2 version.
I wonder why. Because I mean, that's what like what was it? Horizon did. Horizon did the same thing, I believe, right?
Yeah, usually that's definitely a common thing is like $10 upgrade versions. Horizon did it. I want to say Days Gone did it. There's a few more that I can think of off the top of my head that I know of.
Yeah, I don't think it's that big a deal.
But also there's a bunch of games that just work better with like moving, like there's PS4 games that on PS5 just work better when you play them.
That's true.
Which
I guess,
because the other thing is that like it's the same game. It's just the rendering resolution and frame rate is higher in Breath of the Wild's case. And
I mean, yeah, but I don't think it's fair to be like, well, it's okay that these games did it because they ran like ass before, and on the new stuff they work fine. This one, it worked fine on its old console, and it still works fine on the new one. Therefore, it's not okay. I don't think that doesn't make any sense.
Well, it's more that like other games get performance enhancements just from playing on a later version or a later console. Like I would use the Elden Ring, the PS4 version of it runs flawlessly on the PS5.
Does the frame rate not increase at all?
No, it just runs better. It was like an uncapped 60 that didn't really hit that on the PS4, but on the PS5 it was also, I think, a render buff. I think it like letterboxes like 2K. I think at 60.
No, I mean these upgrades for Nintendo Switch.
What are you asking again?
Like, do they run better than their original version?
I'm not certain. I would assume that they probably do.
Yeah, so like that's what I'm saying is I don't understand why people are freaking out about like $10 for.
I mean, people were freaking about the other ones too. Like it's not a new thing. They were also upset with the $10 expansion or remaster upgrades for like Horizon. They definitely saw people complaining about that.
I think that's silly. I think it's perfectly fine, and it seems like for this, like it's perfectly fine. If you're gonna play the game again, it looks like they enhanced a ton of stuff about it. Looking at the website, like has improved textures, now supports HDR, which is huge. Better frame rates, better load times. Like it's just an overall upgrade to the game if you already bought it, or you can just buy the game if you didn't have it before, just like you would if you wanted to play it anyways. So looks like it's perfectly fair, at least to me.
Hello?
Hello.
I tried to remember. I think okay, so I think the next thing shown off was Daemon Ex Machina. We got the sequel, which is just a kind of a different game.
I didn't even realize it was getting a sequel.
Then they announced down the line they announced like Yakuza 0 is getting
it's a shit ton of ports.
There's ports and upgraded ports and stuff like that.
That game's fantastic.
Like Yakuza 0 is getting like 20 something new minutes of cutscene, new rendered cutscenes and stuff like that. They showed off that there's another Hyrule Warriors game coming. which will be the third one, Age of Imprisonment. And then they did something really funny where they actually revealed Hollow Knight Silksong's released that it's releasing this year in about a 5-second window.
Yeah.
Wait,
No
And I
actual
know
release
people
stages this
People
year.
have been waiting for that.
we didn't know it was this year before that. It literally is like it's in this montage of games they're showing off, and it's like 5 seconds long that they're just like Silksong's coming this year, basically. And people were joking that I see people were like, because they've been radio silent for years, and it's been years, and then they just reveal it in the 5-second direct, 5 seconds in the middle of the direct, and people were like, were we hallucinating this collectively, or did they actually just announce the release date for this?
Collectively.
The release window. They showed off that GameCube games are coming to the Nintendo's game subscription service they have. I forget what they call it. It shows off that allows you to play some of the retro games with the online subscription. I think it's like Nintendo Classics or something like that.
Yeah, Nintendo Classics is what it's called.
And then we get to the last 3 trailers, which were the other new announcements, like the big ones. And the big one that definitely was the big talk of the direct is From Software's new game.
Oh, God.
Oh my God. The Duskbloods.
So
Wait.
So I saw the trailer. Visually, I don't know. I don't I was telling Kylar earlier, yeah, this looks like a Switch game. There's something about maybe the way the environment reacts or the characters move or something where I'm like, yeah, that's a Switch game if I ever saw one. But I don't know too much about the game itself.
It did.
We got a lot more information.
I feel like it tricked me into thinking it was Bloodborne 2, but it's not.
I mean,
that's how I felt.
The thing is, it's Bloodborne to it's the Bloodborne to this is the same as Demon Souls to Dark Souls. Is definitely the feel they're going with how many times they dropped the moon blood in the trailer. It's just probably the fact that if they could, they would have called this Bloodborne in some fashion, but they don't own the IP for it. So, and apparently they were the ones who pitched this to Nintendo when they were Miyazaki pitched it to Nintendo, according to an interview he had today, where he gave a bit more information out. Because apparently that this game and Night Rain they're being used to test and strengthen their networking and their online systems for their next game, for their next main title. Because Night Rain is supposed to be used to develop the co-op perspective. This is going to be used to develop the PvP, because this game is going to be an 8-person PvP versus VE game.
Yeah, see, I wouldn't call that Bloodborne 2. This is just Night Rain. You know what I mean? And it's just styled as it. And that's what I was saying is oh shit, Bloodborne 2. Oh no, it's just like an extraction.
I want Bloodborne 2.
Thing. Yeah.
I want Bloodborne 2 as well, but I think I draw the line at buying a Switch for it.
Yeah.
I'm not really that heavily invested. I'll pay extra money for the game, but I
think I dropped $500.
Ugly.
Yeah.
No, it looks yucky. I don't want to play it.
It looks yucky.
It looks yucky.
I throw it up.
It looks like an Elden Ring, because you can definitely tell it was the same engine. And then it's the least visually distinct from Elden Ring, most of the games. Because Dark Souls 1 to Dark Souls 2 to Dark Souls 3 to Bloodborne to Sekiro, they all have a distinct style in how their art direction works.
Oh yeah, I agree that the art direction is very similar to Bloodborne. I just don't think it's anything like I would not call this a successor to Bloodborne. This is just a multiplayer arcade game styled as Bloodborne. That's what this was to me. Which sucks, because I thought we were getting Bloodborne 2. Even if it was a Switch exclusive, I'll probably end up getting it at some point. But this game I probably won't get.
It just looks so clunky. I'm sure it might be different. I don't know, but just I've watched the trailer like 3 times now, and him jumping and shooting guns, or the guy in leather pants walking away. Everything looks off.
Jump and shoot, man.
Has there been like public reception about it? Do we know? Like, have you seen people talk about the game?
I mean, people are definitely mixed because of the fact that it's PvP versus E.
Okay, so it's not just.
Most people
us.
are calling that they were like, this looks like a Bloodborne spiritual successor, and a lot of people are calling it a Bloodborne spiritual successor. Is what I've seen a lot of people refer to it as, both like from media outlets to just people's reaction.
And is there any other data on this besides the Nintendo Direct?
Miyazaki gave an interview today where he gave a little bit more information, because it's going to be so it's basically 8 players are going to enter different stages, like different levels. Basically, it's going to be like 1 stage per match, basically. And based on your customization, the goal of the game is to find whatever is called the first blood. He hasn't given too much details, but one of the things he talked about was the fact that basically there's going to be different events that happen throughout the match and so forth that will change how certain things behave, and certain interactions will only be possible during these events. So there's going to be exclusive events that don't happen every time. But one of the things he talked about was the customization of, you can customize basically the lore and background of your character to an extent he was talking about, which will actually impact in terms of like what your goals in a level will be. Because one, like to use the examples he gave, is you can customize it so that you have something called a destined rival. So in addition to your goal for getting the first blood, like being the winner, is that there's a personal goal that might be that every player is going to have. And for the destined rival, it is you have to kill your destined rival. You specifically are the person who has to kill the other person. And then another example he did was destined companion, where you and another person will team up. And your goals is for you guys to beat a boss together. Was an example he gave. But basically everything that you do is going to lead towards basically working towards like to everything you do is going to help you win the game, basically to tilt things in your favor. Because at the end of the interview, he states that he doesn't really like PvP, so he wanted to try to design the game in a way that even people who don't like PvP will still be able to enjoy. But he hasn't given too much more information about it. But similar to Night Rain, it's going to be like over a dozen preset characters that you can customize. They're like to some degree. He hasn't gone in depth. But other than that, one other feature he mentioned is that like everyone's going to be able to summon a companion, basically, which was what we saw at one point in the trailer.
Yeah, I also saw that apparently the actual win condition will also change just based on like what actually happens, I think, during the event.
Like there's certain like the events can change like how you can actually win. Yeah.
So it seems almost like I'm kind of sad this is a Switch exclusive, because as far as we know, it is like it's only going to be on the Switch. It is a Switch
exclusive. It is confirmed.
Yeah.
Oh well,
because he also because it is directed by Miyazaki, which is unlike Night Rain. But he also mentioned that like he's still going to be like the lore. He's still going to place an emphasis on that.
Just gonna have a bunch of like children trying to figure out some Elden Ring lore. Oh. No, it's a weird game to have as a Switch exclusive.
It's also
it almost feels like a shame to have it as a Switch exclusive, you know? I feel it doesn't belong there, but
I kind of wonder how that all ended up.
No, like the thing that I was thinking is, once I learned this, is Nintendo's online structure plus From Software's online structure in an 8-person game.
Ooh. Yeah, that's rough. That's going to be real rough.
I hope you like 700 ping.
Yeah, I was looking at, they were talking, like I saw a commercial for Street Fighter 6 and I was like, no way in hell would I ever try playing a fighting game on the Switch like that. That's crazy talk. And then what? 8 players at once? Yeah, no, sure, whatever.
I hope it does well. I mean, that's your problem you might have too. Is maybe it doesn't have enough players. You would make it enough matches. Keep running the same people over and over.
It's definitely a far cry from Pikmin or
Pikmin.
Donkey Kong Banana.
Where's the Pikmin battle royale?
Yeah,
Yep.
Bonanza. I don't know.
Yeah,
Interesting.
well,
That was
interesting
I hope
release.
they don't. I hope they don't do that anymore because I don't want to have to buy a Nintendo to play FromSoft
Yeah, it's for Bloodborne
games. That
2,
feels
the
fucking
Monkey Paw
stupid.
Curl, but now it's an exclusive on a
Give
different
us
console.
Bloodborne 2.
No, this is
Give
a
it to us for
Bloodborne.
real. Stop with this. Vampires. Ugh. Keep it.
You can have
Already
vampires.
played
Just let me
Legacy of
destroy
Kain.
them in Bloodborne 2.
All right. Anything else? Because we are
Oh yeah, there's still more.
long-winded. Oh, make it quick.
No.
I'm gonna piss my pants.
I got
Then
pissed
do it,
too.
you fucking bitch. But no. And then the second to last game, which was caught me off guard, and it was one of my favorite things they announced, is that there's a sequel to Kirby Air Ride coming out after like 20 years or something like that.
But didn't you say
That's
there's
a
still a
shame.
Robot Wars announcement too?
That was last direct.
That's still big for me. Anyway, continue.
But yeah, no gameplay has been showed off. It wasn't in any of the tree houses for either today or yesterday.
Kirby Air Ride, man, that's crazy.
It's supposed to come out this year.
Yep.
From what I know.
I remember,
So.
playing,
Yep,
I
they
remember playing the hell out of Kirby Air Ride.
Oh yes, no, the Kirby Air Ride was probably the game that I played the most on GameCube.
Played it with Tsun too. Oh my god.
The City Trial was a very unique experience that I haven't seen any other game do. So I'm really excited about that coming back. And then the last thing to cap off the direct was the announcement of the new Donkey Kong game at Donkey Kong Bonanza, which is the first 3D Donkey Kong game in 26 years.
Developed by Rare.
It's only actually the second one, which is
It actually looks pretty cool, to be
looks
honest.
so fun. It looks,
Yeah.
because it definitely seems like I would bet money on that it's by the Mario Odyssey team, but it looks so
like it.
pretty. Because that was the
Yeah.
game that made me think that like Nintendo will always have top tier art direction and art design, and this is the game that made me think about it again.
Oh yeah.
It's just
I mean, it's really cool. Just like watching the gameplay of it, like being able to just break
Jesus.
shit or just like tear rocks out of the ground, and start like hitting things with it.
ride the rocks that you tear out. You
or-
just dig through the ground. like-
Yeah, it's really cool. A really cool game.
Yeah, I'm just seeing a little small like blurb here. That looks good. That looks intense, actually,
Yeah,
for a
looks
Donkey
like a
Kong
really,
game.
really cool game. Do we know when the Switch 2 comes out?
June 5th.
June 5th.
But here's the thing. So launch price of $450 with a $500 version that bundles with Mario Kart World, if I'm not mistaken. The only problem is, if you're in the US, you're boned because you're not allowed to pre-order it the same time everyone else is because of the tariffs.
Oh,
We were originally everyone was going to be able to pre-order on the 9th. We can no longer pre-order it in the US. It's been delayed to an unannounced date, from what I understand.
I'm gonna pre-order it just for that.
And it's going to cost well over, and they're saying it's going to cost over $600, is what they're expecting.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Oh, so here you need to do is you need to send Tsun $600 and he might pre-order it for you.
Yeah, it's gonna be crazy. The tariffs, man. Oh my gosh, it's kind of absurd.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't, well, I don't care about like this is all you guys. I could not give a fuck about Nintendo anything. So
Well, it's more of a, like, I've been seeing, like I said earlier in the podcast, like a bunch of board game companies right now are freaking out because a lot of the stuff gets manufactured in China right now. And a lot of companies have been looking to try to manufacture in the US because it would technically be cheaper. The problem is that it is physically impossible to do. because there is no way to manufacture stuff here.
It would take years to set up the infrastructure, and by that time, we're all fucked.
Yeah, and not even just that. Like, in order to do it, to buy all the stuff and equipment you need to do, guess where you'd get it from? Like, it would take forever, and it would be really expensive at the same time. So,
Hey man, you gotta fight those
that's
trade
just
wars
board
against the
games.
Penguins.
yeah, against the Penguins. I can't even imagine like anything else. So, yeah, I don't know.
I'm so
I
glad
don't
I was
know.
able to introduce you guys to some stupid you hadn't heard about yet.
Yeah, that was pretty crazy. Now, the one thing I do hope for the Switch, because it has such a huge margin of actual performance, because they have like 120 frames to tote for like their first party games, but they can still have games that run at 30 FPS because it's technically playable. Is that they're transparent about how the games actually run. I don't think they're going to do that, but I really hope they do, because they announced Cyberpunk 2077 for the Switch 2, and
They've also confirmed that it's going to use upscaling.
is it?
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's going
I
to be
figure
using
you'd have to.
it's going to be using some, because they haven't done the specifics on it, but it's going to be like some, people are assuming some custom solution of DLSS by NVIDIA.
Yeah.
Because we know it's DLSS, but we just don't know like which version it's going to use. But people are speculating it's going to be a unique one that NVIDIA is going to do something specific for the Switch 2.
That doesn't surprise me, because the actual CPU/GPU in the Nintendo Switch is custom made for it by NVIDIA. Like, they made one specifically for this. So it probably has its own version of it, proprietary to the Switch. But yeah, I just hope that they're actually transparent about how the game runs, because, you know, that'd feel like crap. You bought a game and it turns out it runs at 30 FPS and just is dog shit, you know? So yeah. Hopefully it comes out at a reasonable price for us here, but who knows? Who knows?
All right. Well, we all done?
Yep, that's the end of my stuff.
All right.
All righty.
Well, thank you, gentlemen, so much. I appreciate y'all coming with that fire. Thank y'all who stuck around long enough to hear this outgoing message. We really appreciate you. Leave a like and a comment, and if you have any questions, feel free to hit us up at giantenemycrabpod@gmail.com
Brombo.
or hit us up on Blue Sky, or that's pretty much it. I think we're good. We're out of here.
All right.
Mic drop.
Goodbye.